Welcome to Biochemistry DSP channel. Today I'll be discussing about nucleic acids, the basic structure of DNA. Components of nucleic acids. So as we all know that the nucleic acid is made up of polymers of monomeric units called nucleotide, which are linked together through 3' to 5' phosphodiester bond. Okay, there are two kinds of nucleic acid, deoxyribonucleic acid and ribonucleic acid. These nucleic acids are highly acidic and negatively charged in nature. When you see the components of nucleic acid, it is composed of a base, nitrogenous base, and sugar and a phosphoric acid. Okay, when the nitrogenous base is added with sugar, it is called a nucleoside. To this base plus sugar, if you add a phosphoric acid group, then it becomes a nucleotide. Okay, bases of nucleic acids. There are two types of bases, purine bases and pyrimidine bases. Purine base includes adenine and guanine. Pyrimidine bases include cytosine, thymine and uracil. uh, Uracil is present only in RNA, not in DNA. These are the structures of this purine nucleotide, adenine and guanine, and pyrimidine nucleotides, structure of uracil, thymine and cytosine. These are the basic structure of this nitrogenous bases. Okay, these are the bases. Then the two sugars which is present in the nucleic acid is ribose sugar and a deoxyribose sugar. Ribose sugar is a sugar, it's like glucose, but only it will have only 5 carbon atoms. And deoxyribose is also same, but it will lack one oxygen atom. Deoxyribose is present in the DNA and ribose sugar will be present in the RNA. So this is how the basic structure of a nucleotide will be there. It will have a sugar which will be connected with a base, nitrogenous base. Okay, so when a nitrogenous base is connected with a sugar and a phosphoric acid group, it is said to be a nucleotide. Nucleotide. Okay, so each base will be bound only with a specific base. So adenine means it will always base pair with thymine. Okay, adenine always form a base pair with thymine, and cytosine will form a base pair with guanine. Okay, it will be adenine will have a double bond with thymine. Cytosine will have triple hydrogen bond with guanine. Okay, these are the nucleotides present in the nucleic acid. So it will have either adenine. This adenine will be in the form of adenosine triphosphate, ATP, and guanine will be in the form of GTP. Cytosine will be in the form of CTP. Okay, then thymine will be TTP. Sugar phosphate bond. These sugars will, that is the ribose sugar or deoxyribose sugar, will form the backbone of DNA. These nucleotides are connected to each other via the phosphate backbone on the one nucleotide. Okay, phosphate and a sugar will be connected, and the sugar on the next nucleotide, like this it will be continuing. Okay, so these pentose sugars, ribose and deoxyribose, are the components of this RNA and DNA. Okay, so in both the type of this nucleotides, the carbon atom of the pentose sugar will be base pairing with the, it will be having a linked with the phosphoric acid group. Okay, in a nucleotide, the pentose sugar will be linked with the nitrogenous base by beta N glycosidic bond. The bond is formed between C1 of pentose sugar and N1 of pyrimidine base. Okay, or it can form a glycosidic bond between C1 of pentose sugar with N9 of purine base. So if the base is pyrimidine, means the bond formation will be between C1 and N1. Okay. If it is purine means the bond formation will be between C1 carbon of sugar linked with N9 of this purine base. Okay. They form a glycosidic linkage. Now we'll see the structure of DNA. So DNA consists of two molecules that are arranged in a ladder-like structure called double helix. A molecule of DNA is made up of millions of tiny subunits called nucleotides. So each nucleotide consists of a phosphate group, pentose sugar and a nitrogenous base. DNA is a double-stranded helix. So in 1953, Francis Crick and James Watson they found the secret of life, that is the DNA. James Watson and Francis Crick, okay, they worked with the three-dimensional structure of DNA based on the work by Rosalind Franklin. In 1953, they proposed a model called Watson and Crick model of DNA. In 1962, Watson and Crick, along with Wilkins, they were awarded Nobel Prize for elucidation of the double helical structure of DNA. This is the double helix structure. Okay, it will have a sugar phosphate backbone. So the periphery of the helix will be having the sugar and phosphate backbone. Inside that, okay, in the inside you can see the base pairs. Adenine always pairs with thymine, guanine will be pairing with cytosine. Okay, now we'll see the salient features of DNA. So this Watson and Crick model of DNA is a B form of DNA. There are so many types of DNA, A form, B form, Z form, etc. So this Watson and Crick model is the basis for the B form. Okay. So it is a double helical structure, right hand. Okay, it is a DNA with a right handed double helix. It consists of two polydeoxyribonucleotide chains twisted around each other on a common axis. The two strands are coiled around a central axis which run anti-parallel to each other. Okay, that means one strand will always run in the 5 dash to 3 dash direction and the other strand will be running in the 3 dash to 5 dash direction. uh, the width, okay, when you see take the width or diameter of the helix, it is the B form of helix is found to be 20 angstrom or 2 nanometer. Okay, each turn, that is called the pitch of the helix, is 34 angstrom or 3.4 nanometer. Each turn will have 10 base pairs. Each base pair distance will be 3.4 angstrom. Okay, uh, this B form of DNA exists as a right-handed double helix. Uh, the strand which runs from 3 dash to 5 dash direction is always called the sense strand or template or coding strand. Okay, the other strand which runs in the 5 dash to 3 dash direction is called the anti-sense or non-coding strand. Each strand of DNA has a phosphate backbone on the outside, that is the periphery of the helix, and the bases will be stacked inside the helical core. The two polynucleotide chains are not identical, but the two strands are held together by hydrogen bonds formed by complementary base pairs. Adenine pairs with thymine with two hydrogen bonds. Guanine always pairs with cytosine with three hydrogen bonds. uh, uh, since it's have three hydrogen bonds, the GC base pair is stronger by about 50% compared to AT base pair. Okay, Chargaff's rule is very important. So Chargaff's rule is nothing but the number of purine base will always be equal to the number of pyrimidine bases. That is this Watson and Crick model. DNA double helix will always obey this Chargaff's rule. That is the also called the base complementary rule. Okay, so adenine always pairs with thymine and guanine always pairs with cytosine. The ratio of this purine to pyrimidine base in a DNA will always equal to 1. So that ratio of purine is to pyrimidine will be always equal to 1 is to 1. That rule is called as Chargaff's rule, discovered by the scientist Chargaff, Erwin Chargaff. Okay. The double helix has got major grooves as well as minor grooves along with the phosphodiester backbones where histone proteins will be embedded. So this is the hydrogen base pairing. Okay, adenine always pairs with thymine with 2 hydrogen bonding, and guanine pairs with cytosine with 3 hydrogen bonding. Okay, this is how the bonding will be present. The two strands of the double stranded DNA helix are held together by these hydrogen bonds that are formed between the purine and pyrimidine bases of the two strands. The bases are hydrophobic and stacked in the interior and lies perpendicular to the helix axis, and the sugar and phosphodiester bonds will form the backbone of the helix. So the most common bases will be adenine, which will always pair with thymine. Okay, cytosine will always pair with guanine. So these are the major bases which is commonly found in DNA. Okay, adenine, thymine, cytosine, and guanine. So when you see the base pairing, adenine always base pairs with thymine, cytosine will pairs with guanine. Okay, so this is how the DNA structure will be held. Okay, sugar and phosphate will lies in the periphery of the helical axis, and inside the core you can find this nitrogenous bases connected with this sugar. Okay, adenine pairs with thymine, cytosine pairs with guanine. Like this, that it will be complementary and it will obey the Chargaff's rule. Both the strands of DNA double helix are not identical in base sequence, hence they are complementary to each other in base pairing. Okay. So the base pairing will occur. Adenine will form a bond with thymine, guanine will form a bond with cytosine. This is how the base bonding will be present. Okay. So this is how the DNA structure will be built. Now we'll see the types of different types of DNA. So the model which is proposed by Watson and Crick is called the B form. You all know the nature of B form. It is a right-handed anti-parallel double helical structure with 10 base pair per turn, B form. Okay, it's a right-handed helix with 10 base pair and the diameter is found to be 20 angstrom or 2 nanometer. The width, the width will be 2 nanometer. It has a wide major groove which are easily accessible to the proteins. Base pairs are nearly perpendicular to helix axis. Then when you see the A form, it is discovered by R. Dickerson. Most RNA and RNA DNA duplex exist in this form. It is shorter and thicker than bDNA. It has a deep and narrow major groove which are not easily accessible to proteins. It exists under low humidity and high salt concentration. A form is also right-handed helix with 11 base pairs per turn. Okay, and the helix diameter will be about 26 angstrom or 2.6 nanometer. The pitch of the helix is 2.86 nanometer. Okay, normally a DNA will not exist under normal physiological conditions. Next type is C form. It is a right-handed helix with 9.3 base pairs, 1.9 nanometer, and Z form. It is discovered by the scientist A. Rich. Okay, it is a left-handed helix with 12 base pairs per turn. It is more thinner and stretched out than B form and okay, B form. Z form conformation is favored under high salt concentration. It has a pitch of 4.46 nanometer, that is 44.6 angstrom, and width will be about 1.8 nanometer or 18 angstrom. The zDNA is rich in cytosine and guanine base pairs, okay, CG base pairs. Hence, because of the bulky base pairs, it exists in a zigzag conformation. Hence, the name Z form of DNA. The function of Z form is not known yet, but it may influence the gene expression. Okay, then one more form is there, that is called the circular DNA. The circular DNA exists in microorganisms like bacteria and bacteriophages, and in eukaryotic cells chloroplast and mitochondria also has got circular DNA. So these are about the basic structure of DNA. Subscribe and support the channel Biochemistry DSP. Thank you for watching this video.